Hey everybody, it's Shelly. So today I just wanted to talk about Poshmark really quick. I sell on eBay and Poshmark. As many of you resellers know, eBay has just been doing all kinds of crazy stuff lately. I'm still not on managed payments because I just am sticking with PayPal. I use my PayPal debit card for all my business expenses and for all my sourcing and all that. And I'm just kind of heard a few horror stories about managed payments. And until they force me to do it, I'm not going to do it. And when they force me to do it, I might just drop eBay. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. It makes me sad because eBay is my, I've been with eBay since I think 99 or 2000. And I wish they would get their stuff together. And I wish they would stop trying to be Amazon and just be eBay and let people sell their stuff and their vintage stuff and their household stuff and just have fun. And it's just turned into this big circus and all this promotions and messing up everything. It's just irritating. Anyways, if you're watching this eBay, which I doubt you are, figure it out. You're losing your people. I am an eBay person. When people ask me, what do? I sell on eBay. I forget to mention Poshmark, but it's starting to happen more and more because Poshmark is my jam. Okay, so this is one of my Poshmark packages. I found these on eBay. You Pack and Ship, I think, is the store name. They have all kinds of cool poly mailers. I love them. I try to get different ones every time. These are obviously the tie-dye ones, but I've had ones with flamingos and cactuses and makeup and I don't know, peacock feathers, just all kinds of fun stuff. So the reason that I am making this video is because recently, as of like 2 days ago, I get a message from one of my Poshmark. Well, I actually got a case opened from one of my Poshmark buyers, and they said, I ordered a pair of brand new Tom's sparkly glitter shoes and I received a scarf. And it dawned on me in that moment, oh my goodness, I got the labels mixed up and put the wrong label on the wrong package. And so a person that was supposed to get a scarf got a pair of shoes, and a person that was supposed to get a pair of shoes got a scarf. So I wrote that person, immediately responded in the case and said, I am so sorry, I mixed up my labels. It happens sometimes. I'm going to do whatever it takes to either get you a refund or get you your right item. Hopefully Poshmark sees this, my comment on this case, and either sends it back to me so I can send the right person the right thing, or they deal with it. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. And she said, okay, great. No rush. Thanks for responding so quickly. So immediately I went and found the person that was supposed to get the scarf and told her, hey, you're going to get a pair of shoes. I am so, so sorry. I mixed up the labels. I'm going to do my best to either get you your scarf or get you a refund as soon as possible. Go ahead and open a case and, put in there that you realize that there was a mix up with the labels, blah, blah, blah. So you know what Poshmark did, which eBay would never do this. I hate, like I said, I just don't like bashing eBay, and I'm not bashing eBay, but I'm just telling the truth. So then the next day yesterday, I get a message from the gal that was supposed to get the scarf and got the shoes, the second gal. And she said, I opened the case and told them what was going on. And a few hours later, they sent me an email with a shipping label attached for so-and-so in such and such town for me to send it to them. And Oscar needs to come up here and say hi. And so basically what Poshmark did is they are having the sellers, I mean, I'm the seller, duh, having the buyers, they're giving them labels to ship the items to each other so they get the right items. And I just think that's genius. Like, it just goes along Okay, there we go. I got some love. It just goes along with just the whole social network part of Poshmark and just the cooperation, and it was just awesome. And so she was just saying, I just want to make sure that so and such town is the one that's supposed to get these shoes. And I said, yeah, that's great. And she said, I'm going to try to get it done today or tomorrow. And I said, thank you so much. Again, I'm so sorry for the mix-up. And she was just so cool about it. So I just think that that is so awesome because I've never had that happen before with Poshmark. Now with eBay, I've had that happen before, and I've had buyers volunteer to ship it to the seller. And I think back in a few years ago, I probably would have done that because I would have been like, oh yeah, here's their address. If you could just forward it to them, because a lot of people are really nice and cool and do that. But now with all the seller protection and buyer protection, I was just like, no, just return it to me. And then I will forward it. And so it's just nice to know that Poshmark is willing to do that. And I appreciate Poshmark. And I was just so happy that that whole situation ended like that. And honestly, I don't even care if Poshmark has charged me that extra money for all that shipping because it was my mess up. So the other thing I want to talk about is I just printed out a Poshmark label. And I'm just going to cover up the address and stuff. But there's a little message under the barcode now. And the thing with Poshmark is you can ship anything for, I believe it's $6.49 for up to 5 pounds. Excuse me. If you have something that's more than 5 pounds, you have to go in and kind of manually deal with that and pay the extra money to ship it. And I think it ends up being 8 something, which is still like a really good deal. So the other thing with Poshmark is they've all told us that, or they've told us all, I should say, that we can use priority flat rate boxes. And so a while back, I sent I think it was like a vintage prom dress, and the person got a hold of me and said, hey, I got the package. I haven't opened it yet, but it said, or no, I didn't get the package because the postman brought it to me and said there's postage due on it because I sent it in a large flat rate box because it was this big, huge prom dress. And I said, okay, just go ahead and let it come back to me. And I'm so sorry. And she was just in Portland. So it was just like, I said, either I can resend it, which is fine, or we can just get together because Portland's like 10 minutes. Well, depending on where she lives, she's anywhere from 10 minutes to like 30 minutes away from me. And so, sorry, my nose is being funny. Anyways, so that kind of irritated me. So from now on, whenever I ship in a priority box, a priority priority flat rate box on Poshmark, I take a highlighter and I highlight where it says commercial plus pricing. I highlight where it says Poshmark, and I highlighted, there was a little message, please don't demand more money for this package. We basically have a deal with USPS. So today I printed out a label and it came out differently. So I just wanted to read it, and it's just so awesome because it didn't say this before. Poshmark shippers are authorized to use all priority packaging, including flat rate and regional rate packaging through zones of local and 1 through 8, which just is telling the postal worker. And I'm not going to highlight anything on this package because it's just in a poly mailer. But if I was I would still highlight all of that, just so, because there's some postal workers out there that are just like, they think they own the company and they are just jerks about stuff like that. So I'm going to still highlight that when I put this in a flat rate box. But I just wanted to point that out. That's just so cool that it says that, and it says it like right across the bottom. So as they're scanning the barcode, they'll see it. If they are like, oh, this needs more postage because it's a flat rate box, and then they can read that and go, oh, it's a Poshmark. Okay, that's right, Poshmark. Or they can be all mad, oh, this is horrible, but they still have to do it. So whatever. Okay, and then the other thing I was going to talk about, toss that over there with my other packages, is that my postal office is like an annex. So there's like the big postal warehouse in my community, and then there's like there's like a main post office hub, and then there's a couple like annexes, and one's like downtown, which I know was the original one because it's this old stone building and it's so pretty and cool inside, but it's still just this tiny little place because back when Vancouver, Washington was a tiny little town, that was the post office. But now it's like this huge place, and then there's this other warehouse. So I go to like the suburbs. It's called the Orchards because that's the area annex. And I have been going there. We have next week, in fact, next Thursday will be our 9-year anniversary of moving up here to Vancouver, Washington. And I've been going there the whole time. I've tried a couple other post offices just because I was like in a different area of town or something. And they're all just horrible. They just like, they're not friendly. They're just like the main post office. You don't even hand your packages over to a person. You put them in those barrels, and sometimes the barrels are full, and then when you do have to go to the window and tell them, they're just snotty about it, and I'm just like, I don't need this. I'm going to just go to this same one all the time. So about 3 or 4 months ago, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to ask, because I always thought it would be nice to bring them like cookies at Christmas time, or, you know, Valentine's Day, maybe bring them some chocolates or something. They can put it in their break room and share it or whatever. And I just never did it because I'd heard people say, oh, well, you can't really do that with your postal workers, or they're not supposed to accept stuff. And so I just asked them, I said, hey, if I ever bring you guys goodies, is that okay? And they're like, absolutely. Of course it's okay. You know, and they're always saying hi to me, and I'm always thanking them for taking good care of my packages. I don't stand there and wait for them to scan them. All my packages always get scanned. In the 9 years, I've probably had maybe 5 packages not get scanned, and I asked them about it, and they were just like so apologetic and so nice about it. And those packages still went. They just like missed the scan, whatever, but they still ended up tracking at the next location, and it was all fine. Anyways, I started bringing them goodies. So I don't really do homemade goodies because I know I'm kind of a weirdo about that. I kind of want to know what your kitchen looks like and how you cook and clean before I'm going to eat food that comes out of your house. And you know, I have 2 dogs that shed, and I'm just like, that's not okay. If they were like eating a cookie and found a dog hair, ew, you know. If I'm eating a cookie and I find a dog hair, it's like my dog's. You know how that is. I know that sounds totally disgusting, but I'm just saying, like, if you cook dinner or, you know, whatever, and you find a hair in the mashed potatoes, you know it's your hair because you just made the mashed potatoes. But if you're going to a potluck and you find a hair in the mashed potatoes, you want to go throw up. So anyways, I always get store-bought stuff, and I always bring them different stuff. I bring them cookies. I brought them like miniature cinnamon rolls. I have brought them Halloween candy. I brought this last time I brought them these little lemon and cream cheese strudel things that I got at Safeway. I always just try to find something that's like on special or on sale, little mini cupcakes. And I try to find something that's not going to be too messy because they're using their hands to, you know, sort through our mail. So, you know, like I thought about getting them like regular cinnamon rolls, but what a mess that would be. But these little miniature cinnamon rolls are like this big around. You just pop them in your mouth. So that's easy. And those mini cupcakes are the same way. But I almost feel guilty now when I go in there and I don't have it, but I go to that post office daily. So I try to once every 2 weeks bring them something. And I did it on Monday. I brought them some of those lemon strudel things, and I went there around lunchtime, and there's only one guy at the counters, and there's usually 3 people, but because it was lunchtime, they were all gone. And so I put all my stuff up on the counter where I'm supposed to, and then I just set that up there on their counter and said, hey, I brought you some goodies. And he was like, oh, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. And then I went out to my car, and I was starting my car and getting ready to, you know, put it in gear. And this older lady was kind of waving at me like she wanted me. And she was like, roll down your window. And I rolled down my window, and she said, That guy was so happy that you brought those in. That was so nice of you. And I just told her, I said, well, I come here daily and they always treat me really good and take take good care of my packages. So if you have some postal workers that you absolutely love, I would encourage you to just see if that's okay, because I've heard that some places aren't okay with it, but just see if it's okay if you bring them goodies every once in a while. And they really love it. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like it's, I don't want to say job security, because that's not job security for me, but you know what I mean? Like when they see my name on their packages, they're like, oh, she's the lady that brings us the cookies. We're going to make sure that all of her stuff gets handled really well. And, you know, not that they're supposed to do that, but if you've ever gotten goodies from a customer, you know that you treat them special. So anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. So cool about the whole Poshmark mix up and you know, them doing it that way. So cool about them putting that on the packaging so there's no confusion for the postal workers. And treat your postal workers so good if they're good to you. Oh, and I've also done that with my carrier here locally at my house, because sometimes, like yesterday, I only had 2 packages and I didn't have anywhere else to go until 6:30 at night. So instead of running all the way to the post office, I have a window right here upstairs, and I see when he comes. And so I see him pulling up. I grab my stuff, throw in my slippers, and go out there and give them to him. So I have given him like little boxes of cookies. You got, like, I have a locking mail, one of those locking mail boxes. And so I just slid it in there with a little thank you note. So when he opened the whole thing to put in all the mail, he just saw the little thank you and he pulled it out, and there was just a little box of cookies in there for him. So you can do that too. They love that. And like the holidays are coming up, and just be good to your postal workers. I know they get paid well, but they work hard, and I don't know, it's good to be nice. So talk to you later. Have a great day, and yeah, bye.